Hi guys, Jate with spiritsvessel.com and the Spirits Vessel YouTube channel, and I am doing the weekly tarot reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And if you are cross-watching for a Taurus person that's in your life, this is a good way to get some insight into what's going on with them this week. And so if they are being silent and not being expressive with you, maybe this reading might kind of let you know what's going on with them. You might have an easier way to get through to them this week. So, Taurus, okay, what's going on with you guys this week? Just kind of tuning into your guys' energy. Leo season can be a little bit harsh on a Taurus. It's squaring your guys' energy. And Leo and Taurus are both fixed signs. One of the commonalities between Taurus and Leo and all the fixed signs, so Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio, there is a stubbornness to each fixed sign, because the whole point of being a fixed sign is to stay the course, right? And for Taurus people this week, there might be a little bit of conflict going on. Full moon energy can always be a time where relationships are highlighted because the sun and the moon are opposing each other. So, you know, kind of your ego versus who you are in the world, versus like your heart and what is really driving you. And that can be manifested through our relationships with others. And I'm just kind of tuning in. I kind of feel like there's a lot of Tauruses out there that are, this fire is really motivating you guys to action, but not in a healthy way. For some of you, it might be healthy. It might be healthy, fiery energy. You needed what is that, fire under your ass? You know, it's like human beings won't change unless they absolutely have to, and that totally applies to Taurus. It applies to all the fixed signs, right? Fixed signs are just so, it's like, God, a fixed sign really needs things to get to rock bottom before it makes a change. And hopefully Taurus, the Taurus people out there, that's not what's going on. I'm hoping that, you know, you guys are just like, there's some discomfort going on. There's some pressure. I feel like you guys are really under a pressure cooker right now, which can be a really good thing, because you know what? Pressure creates a diamond, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So, let's see what's going on in this read and kind of tune into your guys' energy. And there's no cards that are like popping out like crazy. I don't feel like the cards are really flying all over the place like sometimes I do with readings. Okay, so I got the 12 card in the Santa Muerte Oracle deck. And if I'm not mistaken, I think all the earth signs got cards. Oh, no. Capricorn didn't. Capricorn is just work. But with Virgo and with you, you got two of the, nope, I lied. You're the only one that got the card from creation. I'm sorry. So the Santa Muerte Oracle deck is broken up into 4 different sections. There's 32 cards, so there's 8 cards per section. They each have to do with different parts of the Kabbalah, different sections of reality, if you will. This whole alchemical process of taking something from a primordial archetypical concept and making it real and making it tangible. And we got the number 12, so number 9 through 16 all have to do with taking this from a real raw form and starting to give some structure to it. And they're all represented by Aztec gods. And this one is Tezcatlipoca, okay? And I'm pretty sure I pronounced that right. And if I didn't, I'm so sorry to that Aztec god. But that god has to do with war. It's the god of night. It's the god of education, of temptation, which is something that, you know, Taurus, You guys are very sensual, sometimes you guys can indulge in the senses a little bit too much. Um, but he's also seen as someone, and I'll show the card again because I didn't point this out before, but he's also the god of smoking mirrors, if you see this right here on the card. And so whenever this comes up in a reading, that shows that there is a mirror effect happening in your life. And if you're finding that you're looking at other people and not liking what you see, is that a projection? Are you not liking that because it's something in yourself? When reality holds a mirror up to you, it can be really uncomfortable. And, this God, he sacrificed himself. He sacrificed a part of himself. And that's a little bit part of that Scorpio principle too, is that you have to sacrifice something so that you can be made better in the process of it. So, I'm really thinking that you guys are going through a process right now where reality more than normal. Reality is always like a little mirror, whatever you see in the projection of your reality, that's what's really going on in here and in here. But sometimes we're not really aware of that. We can kind of go through the motions of life and we don't realize that reality is this constant mirror. And I think you guys, it is like unavoidable right now. You are really seeing a lot of things you do not like. And if you don't like what you see, what do you need to get rid of? And, unfortunately, something has to be sacrificed. You got to give up something. And what is it that you need to give up? Well, let's see what the cards are saying. I'm using the Wild Unknown Tarot deck, and I'm just going to pull a few cards, see what's going on with you guys. And, I was kind of picking this up with Virgo as well. There's a little bit too much good drink, too much good food, too much partying. And although I don't pick this up for Taurus as much, not so much the partying thing, I do pick up a lot on not taking action. And kind of getting really really annoyed at how passive you might have been in the past. So let's see what the cards say here. Okay. Wow. Okay. So interesting. All three of the earth signs got this card in some way. The interesting thing is that Capricorn got this upright, so someone in their life was hiding and lying to them. Virgo got this reversed. They were lying to themselves. With you, it's upright. Someone is hiding and lying to you. Are you aware of this? I think you are. Is this why you're feeling like reality is a mirror right now? Have you done this in the past and now it's coming back to bite you in the ass and you're like, why? Or is this like they're lying and you're not doing anything about it, and why? Ace of Cups in reverse. So perhaps this hiding and this deceit has led you to go more inward and led you to get back in touch with your emotions. Perhaps it was so painful you had to really find yourself. Kind of interesting. And the Hangman in reverse, or upright. So Virgo got this as well. Yeah, you know what? Same energy from Virgo. People around you are lying, and it has made you have to go inward, and it has made you have to find yourself again. I think this new perspective is actually you, but it's new because you haven't been listening to yourself for a very long time. You know, this is so interesting because I definitely shuffled these cards very well, and a lot of the similar cards going on with Virgo. A lot of lack of clarity. And, you know, with Virgo, I saw this card, I was picking up pretty strongly on substance abuse. And with you guys, not as strongly. Maybe some of you are dealing with a Virgo that has a substance abuse problem. And perhaps you had a substance abuse problem at one point, and now you're having to be on the other side of it. And it sucks. So, also, maybe you're not dealing with that. You're not dealing with the reality of the situation. You're living in your head a little bit. All this cups energy. There could be the risk of detaching with alcohol. I don't know why I'm picking this up so strongly for both of you guys as signs. If you guys are drinking to deal with stuff, please stop. Temperance. These are really similar cards to the Virgo reading. And the Four of Pentacles upright. So, you know, maybe this is a therapist. You know, maybe you guys are, you know, it's like a couple. You're dating a Virgo and you're realizing that you're having to go to a therapist, and you're realizing that you're having to do group therapy. And I think this is, or couples therapy rather. And I think this is a good thing because it's providing you insight. It's providing you some stability. And maybe it's coming out in therapy, all the lies. And it's really heartbreaking, but at the same time, it needed to come out so that you could get back to this Four of Pentacles, so that you could have your stability again. Maybe this therapist is a Sagittarius. Man, that'd be interesting having a Sagittarius therapist. We're not known for our tact. So, the truth, but tact, not so much. Okay, so Mother of Pentacles upright. This is a female in your life, someone very grounded, someone very mature, practical, pragmatic, family oriented. Perhaps it's your mother. Perhaps you are rebuilding a connection with your mother at this point, getting some perspective from her. Might not be a bad idea at this point in time to do that, or some other maternal figure who's very grounding for you. And it's someone that can speak your language because they've got a lot of earthy energy to them. And Eight of Wands in reverse. So there's a lot of fiery, passionate energy going on. I kind of see this as a lot of aggression coming out. I think a lot of things are being exposed right now in your life. For some reason, I'm really picking that up very strongly for some Taurus people out there. And it's causing a bit of irritation. You guys are so down to earth and chill. And it takes a lot to upset you guys. I mean, once you guys are angry, it's so hard to calm you down. You're like a bull in a china shop, but it takes a lot to get there. And I think you're there. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Well, here you go. The Four of Swords. I'm going to tell you something about the Four of Swords in this deck, the Wild Unknown deck. This is my favorite card in the whole deck. And I'm going to tell you why. First of all, I love the Four of Swords because the Four of Swords is a time when it is a time of rest and reflection. It's kind of like you came back from a battle. Actually, no, sorry. It's kind of like you're preparing for a battle and you're resting right before you go into that battle. And you're rethinking your strategy. I think maybe there's a little bit of a battle before, and then you're like, okay, am I prepared for this or not? And then the Four of Swords, we go internally, we isolate a little bit, we seek some solitude, and we come back stronger, more clear. And I love this card because look at that face. You know what that face tells me? That face is like, you thought you could lie to me. You thought I was a bitch. But I'm not. That smile is a smile of knowing. It's like, just wait. You know what? You just wait. I'm going to rest and I'm going to get my pineal gland all decalcified. I'm going to get my third eye popping, and then I'm going to go back out there and I'm going to show you that I know more than you think I do. And you've been treating me like I'm some naive person for way too long. But I got you. I see you now. I think that's what this is saying is, I see you now. Someone in your life has pushed you to the point where I think you're finally fighting back. Daughter of Cups in reverse. So I think you guys are really in your feelings right now. Someone in your life might be even saying you're being childish. And I have a feeling this person is gaslighting you. And for some Taurus people out there, I think you have someone in your life who's been lying to you for a while. They've been manipulating you for a while. And they've been dismissing your emotions. And making it seem like any single time you have emotions, you're being childish. And they know what they're doing. They're gaslighting. They know they're doing something wrong and you're getting upset over it and they don't want to deal with it. And that's not fair. That's not fair to you. It's not fair to it's not fair to anyone. And you've had to suppress your emotions for so long that you thought feeling was a bad thing. And Taurus people always have such a hard time, well, not always, but a lot of Taurus people, you know, they have a hard time feeling into how they feel because they're trying to keep the peace all the time. And they're ruled by Venus. So, you know, they're just trying to be grounded for everyone and be stable and be steady. And, you know, I think someone has been really like just straight up lying. And I think it's, you know, it could be, there's a lot of water energy. It could be a water sign. Could be an earth sign too. And alternatively, it could, so it's like, could be an earth sign, could be an air sign, could be a water sign, could be any sign. But you know, for some Taurus people out there, I think you and a partner or you yourself are going into therapy. And I think because the Temperance card came up, this could be that you have a Sagittarius for a therapist, or I think just going into the space of therapy is really helping you to balance things out. Now, also, I'm also picking up on some of you guys where there is a earth sign in your life or a water sign, and they are being manipulative, and they know they're being manipulative, and they're not taking responsibility for their behavior. And now that you're finally getting upset, they're trying to make you sound like you're a child. You're being childish about something. And it's been building for a while. Them not taking responsibility and them projecting onto you what's going on with them. And I think you're getting tired of it. I think you're seeing it. And you're seeing it because you're taking time away. And because you are seeking guidance from other people, you are gaining a different perspective. Either you're seeking solitude and gaining perspective that way, or you're seeking advice from someone else. But this is what this card, this is why I love this card, because whenever it comes up in a reading, it's always a card in which it's like, I see you and I see what's going on. And I need to do something about it. But I also need to reflect upon this and get very clear. And also, because sometimes, people do things and they're being manipulative and they don't even realize they're being manipulative. It's like stuff that they learn from their family. And like I said, I think you guys are getting very fiery and very heated, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of arguments going on in your life right now, which is like, oh man, Taurus doesn't want to argue. And there's a lot of you who are upset over it, that you're being pushed to this point where you have to get angry. I think some of you are like, why do I have to get angry for us to address this? And why is it that you get to be the emotional one all the time? Why is it that when I start doing what you're doing, I'm the one who's childish? Why is that? What's going on here? And, I think at one point in time, that's kind of, I'm feeling like at one point in time, you guys are going through something right now. Some of you, you're going through a period where you did this to someone else and now you're having to experience it all over again. The lying to yourself, the lying to other people, the not being clear, the being very childish, very drowning in your own feelings. And I think it's upsetting to have to see it and to have to go through it and be on the other side of it. And, like I said, I think that someone in your life, and whether or not they know it, they realize what they're doing, because there's a lot of people who aren't necessarily narcissists, but they have narcissistic tendencies. We all do to a certain degree, and that's where communication comes in, when we're able to sit down and really talk about this stuff, and then we're able to address it. And I think someone in your life has been doing things that are manipulative in nature. They've been kind of shady. They've been hiding things. They've been discordant with their energy. They've been gaslighting a little bit, not taking responsibility for their behavior. And whether or not right now in your life that, whether or not you are seeking therapy for this, or you've done this to someone in the past, or, reality is being like, like a mirror for you right now. I really do think a lot of you guys are seeking that stability. I think you guys are actually having to be because the Four of Pentacles came up in the reading. I think you guys are keeping yourselves as stable as possible, given what is going on with you. I think a lot of stresses got dumped on your plate. I think you're being blamed for a lot of stuff. You guys are doing an excellent job at keeping composure and not, freaking out. And I think, for some of you out there, the ones that are getting emotional at this point, I would say do it in a healthy way, but you're completely valid in how you feel right now. You've been manipulated. And just because you might have done this to someone in the past doesn't mean you deserve it. So don't get into that mindset either, where there's like this guilt and now you're feeling like you have to go through this and you have to be suffering because, oh, this is payback. um, you know, that is a really easy way to get yourself into an abusive situation. So, I would say you guys have learned whatever lesson, if this is a mirror type thing going on, and you need to start you need to start trusting yourself more, and you need to take some space. You need to have some time away from this situation. And if you are seeking a therapist right now, I would highly suggest you listen to that therapist. I think they are a good influence on you. I I really do feel for a lot of you who are in therapy right now that this therapist is giving you the backup that you need. You know, are you really needing someone to back you up right now and be like, "No, you know, you're right. Like this isn't okay." Because I think for so long you've been kind of doing it alone and being the one who was the bad guy. Man, that was kind of a heavy reading. Gosh. I'm sorry to you Tauruses out there who are dealing with that energy. You know, if this reading did anything for you, um, if you get nothing else out of it, I would say that I mean that's the thing with tarot. It's just validation. I mean, there's usually tarot's not telling you anything you don't already know. And I think you know that there's some shady manipulative energy going on in your life right now. And I think you know you need to do something about it. Maybe not knowing what to do about it. And this is what was going on in the Virgo reading, you know, really seeking some advice, seeking some guidance, seeking some counsel, and taking some time away and getting some space and getting some distance. That will be very good for you guys because I'm really getting the feeling that um, you know, you guys have really um, gone through a period of time where people that were your closest confidants were really taking advantage of your kindness and taking advantage of your stability and knowing that you would just sort of put up with things. You get what I'm saying? You know? And even though it hurts to realize this about people we love, people can do that. You know, if you give permission to people to walk all over you, then that's what will happen. And don't feel like you deserve it because at one point you did that to someone else. Come on, snap out of it. Um, so, to all you Taurus people, I love you. Uh, it's gonna get better. I think this full moon will be very insightful. Take some time to do some self-care. Take a bath, put some salts in there, put some essential oils in there. Do a ritual. Do a ritual to release this stuck energy in your life, this manipulative energy. Get rid of it. Put it in the past. You don't need it anymore. And yeah, so if you were watching this, you feel like that resonated with you, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting weekly tarot readings for each sign. And if you'd like a personal astrology or tarot reading, I will link my website down below. It is spiritsvessel.com. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!